pop him down there. There we go. Righto, welcome to a couple of shearing tips. Here we go. So, cutters, right? I use an Ellery pendulum for my cutters, and I'll square that all up. I think that's the same as the Heinegger way, but I lost that little slip with the red line on it quite a while ago. So, I've got a Sunbeam Super Shear grinder. Well, I had one. Anyway, with the steel discs. So with this, I'll just hang it on the hook. So that's the shaft of your grinder. I'll line those pegs up with the middle of that shaft. There's a little dot in the middle. Bang. And that usually, I think, gives me a straight one, if I remember correctly. Right. The other little trick that I do with my cutters, sometimes, if I really want a sharp cut, I use those papers. So see if you can get your hand on some of those, mess around and get a Stanley trimmer and chop them from square to straight. I think just in the centre there, it's not split like your Super Shear ones are, so you just got to keep an eye on that as well. So anyway, for your cutters, there's a couple of tricks. So I've got two pendulums, right? The Ellery from the cutters, which has got a nice fat straight thing there. Yeah. Well, this one, I couldn't tell you what brand this is. Maybe somebody knows. But that's got an adjustable screw there, so I can pull that up or down. It says comb on one side, and then it's got a measurement there, 0 down to heel and 0 up to tip. So I just put it just below 0 down towards the heel, just a little bit. Now that's quite a thin couple of lines there, and it's a lot lower than something like, say, your Ellery, which is nice and fat for your cutters, keeps them flat and straight. Whereas that just allows it just to float back a little bit, so it makes a big difference. Right, so then I set that up just a little bit differently for the comb. Right. When I've got my plate on, or not, it doesn't matter really, I'll hang that on the hook, and then I'll line those pegs up with the bottom of that shaft. So when the nut's on it, you got your thread there, those pegs will just sit at the base of that shaft where the thread is and the nut goes on. So hang it on the hook, bang, right, just goes to there. And then you'll swing it across, chuck the comb on, right, give it a spin and just shove it on there. Might have to do that a couple of times. And you'll see you should get a straight line up the middle of every single tooth. Right, so play with that a little bit. You might be stuck out in the bush somewhere, and you know what they taught you at shearing school, no good to you if you haven't got that little thing. So yeah, I'll stick with definitely, if you're shearing marginal bush country, you want Heinegger cutters. So jets, or the ground down version, which I used most of the time, was diamonds, right? I mean, if you're shearing somewhere like Boyup Brook or something, mate, what have I got there? You know, Ace cutters, even those bullets from Sunbeam, whatever, mate, yeah? If you like your bowunes, whatever. But yeah, if you're likely to hit some rough shape, a bit of sand and stuff like that, it's just, you can't go past Heinegger cutters, mate. So get that good Swiss steel, and then, you know, if you stay on top of your grinding, why do you need 100 cutters? So they can just sit there and knock around in your bag and get rusty, possibly. You know, I'll just get 50, maybe 60 cutters in a go. How many are you going to use a day, right? So you think about that sort of stuff. If you're on top of your stuff, right, you grind as soon as you get home, bang, bang, bang. I found something that's a good lifesaver. That one there, right? I'll keep them nice and chilly. I love the ad for it. They beat me to it. I was going to make an ad for that, but they had said exactly what I was going to say. So right, I can drive a truck now. Alright, so that's the comb, that's the cutter. You know, then you can stuff around. So like I've got Ace combs, so I go for the 6.5 bevel with a 95, 96, and you know, like if I really want to fork out, you know, I can go the Heineken combs, but I don't see a massive difference from the Ace to that Heineken. Although on the Freak, I reckon that was probably when I was getting some of my best numbers, but about the same, you know. So I've got those Ace cutters now. I don't know how that happened, but yeah, that's alright. That's all right. But nothing seems to last as long for me. So alright, now when you're grinding those down, you lose that bit of, you know, bevel on the end there. So what do you do about that? Right, so some people will have a comb stone and roll it the one way and get that little ball on the end of each tooth. You can also have a buffer that you can roll it against that side just to take that edge off it and then switch it over and give it a good buff. You can do that. That tears the shit out of your buffer, but you know, it works. And I think that's covered just about everything that I ever had to work out for myself. So if none of that works for you, good. At least you've always got the Heineken way. But you know, if you can get hold of one of those pendulums, go for it, son. Alright, have a good one.